Um, Hi everyone, my name is Alan Snowy Perry. I am the Australian and New Zealand Director of Camp Counselors USA. Thank you everyone for joining us this morning or this evening over in Florida. We've got Beth Schaefer, the Director of Camp Frenchwoods. How are you, Beth?
I'm doing great. Exciting to speak to y'all.
Yeah, awesome. All good. Well, look, we're really excited to learn more about Frenchwoods. Me personally, I've known about Frenchwoods for many years. I've been with CCUSA for many years and been really excited to have been able to send so many amazing Aussies and Kiwis to work at your camp. They had the most amazing time and really love it. The kids are great, and for everyone that puts 100% in, you get 200 back, and that's what we love about Frenchwoods and the ability of you to sort of just bring the best out in everyone. So why don't we get started? Beth, tell us a bit about yourself and also about Camp Frenchwoods.
So, I've been at Frenchwoods my whole life. My dad is the founder. I've been around since I was a little kid, and it's just an incredible place. We have programs in music, art, theater, dance, magic, waterfront, tennis, science, sports, circus, horseback riding, and cooking, to mention a few. And it's a completely individualized program. So the kids at Frenchwoods are signing up for the activities that they're personally interested in, which means that as an instructor, you're teaching kids that are particularly interested in the area that you're teaching, which always makes it a little bit more fun to teach. Shall I do have a little presentation to give. I can sort of pull that up if you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yes, please. That'd be great.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and hopefully I will do this correctly. Sometimes I'm technically challenged, but here we are. All right, are we there?
Yeah, hang on. Yep, I can see your screen. All right, there we go. Yep.
Perfect. So here we are. That is actually our facility. That is a private lake, and all of those buildings that you see pretty much are us. So it's a big facility. We're one of the larger camps, both boys and girls. Hang on. So, we are a focus on performing in fine arts and individual choice. We don't audition the kids before they come to camp. Kids come to camp because they're interested in either being exposed to the arts or because they have a sibling that is involved in the arts. But because it's an individually owned, an individually programmed camp, we're able to really have serious programming. You can see the baseball field and the soccer field and the ropes course, and of course the beautiful waterfront. We've been family owned since my dad founded the place. We're located in Hancock, New York, so it's about 2.5 hours from the city. And we are co-ed, starting at age 7, going all the way through high school. Our orientation this year is going to start on June the 1st, and we do have some specialty programs that'll start training as early as May 29th. This summer, we're going to end. The majority of our program will be over on August 27th. And then September the 4th, we do have a few staff who will remain for our little try-it week. It's our sort of, we call it session 5, but it's a trial week mostly for younger kids. It's kind of a sampler program. So a little less involved, but definitely still kids around. So we have a large staff. We have campers from, many states and many countries, as you see. Usually about 400 staff. The kids are divided between 7 to 11-year-olds, 11 to 14-year-olds, and 14 to 17-year-olds. Although each head counselor division is much smaller than that as well. So, we do divide it up into groups so that everybody gets a lot of individualized attention. Talking about the program, there are 4 3-week sessions. Each session is self-contained, but many of the campers do stay on for multiple sessions as well. So I mentioned that there are 6 activity periods per day. There are 3 activities that we refer to as majors and 3 that we refer to as minors. So the majors are activities the kids choose at the beginning of a 3-week session and maintain for the duration of that session, whereas minors are activities that the kids choose on a daily basis. So they can be the same every day or different every day, depending on the interest of the child. So as a counselor, you would be teaching 5 out of 6 periods per day with a period off each day. And during your period off, you're welcome to sort of check out some of the other program areas and participate if you like. So kind of going through, we have a fairly extensive dance program. As you can see, tap, ballet, jazz, hip hop, modern, etc. Of course, our theater program, we have 5 dedicated theaters, a huge number of Broadway style musicals and dramas. We do the auditions, as I said, once the kids get to camp, and many different workshops and classes. And of course, we're looking for tech theater and stagecraft and costuming and props and all of that stuff. You know, the kids are doing most of the performing at camp. So we are looking for folks that are actually teachers or who can support in building the sets and doing the costumes and the props and lighting and sound and that sort of thing. Additionally, our music program is pretty involved with symphony orchestra, jazz bands, pit orchestras, private lessons, etc. And of course, our rock shop department. So we have kids who do garage band style music. We do lessons in guitar and bass and drums and keyboard. Kids will be in a band. There's a bunch of rehearsal studios, recording studios, rock concerts, and all of that good stuff. So if you are a musician in that way, you know, we really look for those folks who are really interested in being able to teach and hang out with the kids and do all of that stuff. Then we have a pretty extensive magic program. So if we have any magicians hiding out there in Australia, we are always looking for magicians. 2 dedicated theaters, etc. So there's a lot going on. And our circus program is pretty impressive. You know, it's really the largest circus program for kids in the world, I think. You know, all sorts of different apparatus. The kids can try what they want, but they all will perform in shows, and we do an extensive circus training. So, you know, we've been known to take some folks who have strong backgrounds in dance and ropes and similar things and train folks to join the circus. So that's kind of an exciting thing for some. So there's that as well. We also do an extensive film and video department we make short films at camp. We study film analysis and all of that stuff. So again, those hidden cinematographers come and talk to us. We love that. And of course, our visual arts department. We have a very extensive program in visual and fine arts, ceramics, digital and photography, and manual photography, jewelry, painting and drawing, ceramics, wood shop, all of that stuff. We're always looking for people who are interested in the arts of all sorts. And now shifting into our sports program, can I have either Robson or Darren, you want to jump in?
Robson, you want to take this one?
Yeah, perfect. Hey guys, I'm Robson. I'm one of the counselors at French Woods. That's exactly it. We have a huge sports facility with 3 indoor basketballs courts, outdoor basketball courts at our field house. We have a group and individual sports where you guys can teach one-on-one, or you could do a group sports from basketball, soccer, baseball, volleyball, fencing, tennis, and so much more. Even you guys can bring rugby and different sports to be part of our sports program.
Amazing. And fitness. Want to continue on?
Yeah, perfect. Yes, we have a dedicated fitness center, not just for the kids, but for the staff as well. The kids can get one-on-one. We have machines from cardios, bikes, all the way to weights from 0 all the way to 200 pounds. It's great for the staff at night or when you're period off, and also great for the kids to take classes. We're always hiring for that position.
For sure. Additionally, we have a fairly extensive horseback riding program. There's usually between 20 and 30 horses. We have both indoor and outdoor riding arenas, English and Western styles. We teach all levels, and it's an incredible program. And it's like just beautiful because we do have miles of trails. So it's like just peaceful and lovely up on those horse trails. So that can be really, really beautiful. Darren, you want to say a few words about Waterfront?
Now, this is a department I know heaps about. I've been involved in the French Woods Waterfront for about 22 years now. We do lifeguard training at camp, so you don't have to worry about your qualifications. We'll train you at camp. We're looking for sailing, kayaking, canoeing, water skiing, kneeboarding, boat driving, lifeguarding, swim instructors. You name it. If you've been in a swimming pool and you teach something, we'd love to have you. We got a private lake. We got 3 boats. We got an extensive dock system, inflatables, you name it. We can do it. We've got it all. I want to talk to you. It's going to be phenomenal. Come join us, please.
For sure. Additionally, we have a pretty extensive cooking program. The kids will learn everything from knife skills to their favorite desserts to savory, all of that stuff. And they'll go home with their very own cookbook of all the things they learned to cook that summer. We also have a fairly extensive skate park with, as you see, the bowl and the street course and the vertical ramp, half pipe, and all of the good stuff. So that can be pretty extensive. And we're looking for folks who can come in and make sure the kids are safe and wearing all their safety gear. Additionally, our ropes course. Darren, you want to say a couple of words about ropes?
Our ropes course, once again, we do all the training at camp. We'll have you guys come in about 3 days earlier. We put you through all the safety training. We'll orientate you to the course specifically. We got a Jacob's ladder. We got a 400-foot zip line, dual zip line, so you can actually race each other on it. It is one of the most spectacular courses in camping. Trust me, we want you there. Come and join us for that. 3 sky bridges, playpen, 500-foot dual zip line there. 3 climbing towers. We do all the training for you. So if you got a little background in high ropes, indoor climbing, or orienteering, we'd love to have you. Come join us.
Darren, want to continue on about transportation?
Definitely. So how do you get to camp? That's always a question. Firstly, you got to fly into the United States, obviously. So come on in. We arrange the pickup from Newark and from New York City. We will meet you, greet you. I'll send you the details. I'll send you the picture of the person meeting you, contact numbers, and the location specific to actually meet you. So all you got to do is arrive at an airport, climb off your plane, head to the meeting spot, and we'll meet you, greet you, and get you to camp. At the end of the summer, we even take you right back into New York City as well. It's hassle-free. All you got to do is come through, meet us at the airport, and we'll get you to camp. I'll make it easy. I'll be available to you to answer any questions. I'll even offer suggestions for flights or the best recommendations for hotels or anything else. I'm going to be there 100% all the time for you guys to assist you any way you might need me.
Awesome. So I do have a quick little video. So this is a film that was made by our head of video a few years back. And it was not solicited on our part. It's something that he decided that he wanted to make himself. And he did a bunch of interviews with folks around camp. So I think it's a pretty good representation of what it's like to work at French Woods.
It is an incredible job.
Your love was faster than a speeding bullet. I worked so hard to get it, but it was gone before I knew it. And
working here is remarkable.
It's all about fun. It's all about being busy.
We work our buns off.
Working at French Woods is probably something unlike anything else you could possibly do in your life.
The people that we hire are people who are able to really foster very driven study in various areas.
French Woods kind of made me decide that working with students, working with kids is what I wanted to do.
It's an amazing place. I have not seen any place else on the planet like it.
I found that French Woods, in some of the most important years of my life, shaped who I am.
We get to work with talented and passionate kids that are excited to jump into those kind of things.
French Woods is unique because of its specialty program.
What we allow the kids to do is to focus on particular areas that interest them.
Kids can come and pretty much do whatever their heart desires. There's always going to be something interesting for them to do. They're not forced into a particular thing. They get to choose what their day entails.
The interaction you have with a child who wants to be there versus a child who you're fighting for the attention of is visceral beyond belief.
We promote not only an individualized program, but an avocational approach to everything we do here.
I've seen kids back from 2011, my first year, who are now 18. It's so great to see them grow and to feel like I had a role in their life to help them get to where they are now. It's the best.
So many people who have such skills come together to give kids the summers of their lives.
What really keeps me coming back to French Woods year after year is not the amazing activities that we have, it's not the facilities, it's the people who are here.
What keeps me coming back is that I know what that magic was like for me as a kid, and I want to show that off to everyone who comes here. I want to give them that opportunity.
Work here at French Woods will prepare you better than anything else you've ever done. It's hard work physically, mentally, emotionally, but it's the most rewarding thing you can ever do.
I owe most of my professional career to French Woods.
You will make some of the most impactful relationships in your entire life.
What the kids can take away from you and then what they can give back to you is phenomenal.
French Woods is my home. French Woods is everything to me.
French Woods is about achieving the impossible every day.
If I could describe French Woods in one word, I would use happiness.
Unique.
Moving.
Eclectic.
Family.
Life-changing.
Empowerment.
Passion.
Love.
This place is my life. Without this place, I would be, I don't know where I'd be.
So that's pretty much it. You know, that's kind of what we're about.
That's awesome. I love that video that got put together. I think from memories, it was one of our ex-Aussies, our past Aussies that put that together from Perth, from memory. So so exactly. So Beth, as we went through all those skill sets and everything else, I know we do get normally a lot of folks going, oh, look, I haven't really taught before, but I'm really confident in my own skill level and my own ability. What do you look for when you're looking to fill these roles? You know, obviously there'd be some jobs that you definitely need to have had prior experience in maybe teaching or coaching, but is that a mandatory thing? I know you guys do a lot of teaching as well.
Absolutely. So, you know, the nature of French Woods is if you are passionate about an area, you should have a chat to us, because oftentimes the skills that people have are applicable, and sometimes they're not applicable to areas that you realize that they're applicable for. So I love to chat with all of y'all, you know, and I've found, I once had a conversation with a young woman at a fair who sat down and said that she had no skills whatsoever, and in the end she was brilliant, and she taught podcasting all summer. So, you know, I mean, you never know. And sometimes it's something that didn't occur to you before.
Definitely. Now, besides the counsellors that teach in the activity areas, we also get some folks that ask about maybe an all-round, like a general counsellor. Do you hire people for those roles, and what would their day look like?
We do. We hire a small number of general counselors. And actually, I'm going to ask if Debbie can pop on and speak a little bit about what it's like to be a general counselor, because she worked as a general counselor at camp for a summer and then came back as a girls' head counselor.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So I was fortunate enough to be a general counselor in the junior lodges back in 2018 now. By far, the best job I've ever had. Like, you're with the kids 24/7. You essentially are like a big sister to them. You get to go do the activities with them, but also support them throughout the entire day. It is hands down the best job I've ever had.
Now, what I love about you, Debbie, is that you love camp so much, you've actually come back on one of our trainee programs. So, and you're now living and working in the States on our 18-month program. So that's pretty amazing. How's that going? Enjoying it?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I'm already a year into it, and I don't know where the year's gone.
Definitely.
Like, blown by the stuff that I've learned. Having the chance to be on this visa is something that I don't think I would have learned anywhere else.
Yeah, and
So
I think
and all literally because of CCUSA in Frenchwoods.
yeah, look, and I think that's something really good. I do speak to a lot of folks and a number of parents who jump on and they're like, so all right, but is this just fun? What are they going to get out of it? You know, what are they going to take away? You know, they might be taking a gap year out of university, or they finished uni and they should be, you know, they're like, well, they should be starting to work. What are they going to get out of working overseas at a summer camp? I know, Debbie, what have you got out of it? I might ask you first before I ask Beth what she sees come from them.
Yeah, well, I think the teamwork, the social dynamics, because you're obviously living with other staff as well. The negotiations, problem solving, a whole bunch of skills that I don't think you could actually learn in a job. You can, but I feel like it's a completely different environment because like you're all together like 24/7. Sure, you have nights off and you have days off and all of that, but I feel like it tests you in a completely different way, and I'm forever thankful for it.
Yeah, definitely. Beth, what's some of the things that you've seen, you know, through your years at camp? How have you seen staff change from coming in to leaving? And I know you get a large number of returnee staff as well. So how do you see them grow and mature and I guess take their skills to a new level and to different jobs afterwards?
You know, camp is a place where you really get to be hands-on and do it yourself. You know, at a lot of sort of 9-to-5 jobs, you're not, especially to start, it takes a very long time to be trusted to really make things happen. And we're asking our counselors to really teach classes themselves to problem solve, and we're there to help. We're there to help train, and we're there to troubleshoot, and that's what our head counselors and heads of department are there for. But at the same time, you're really able to create something that leaves a legacy behind you. And those interactions with the kids, you know, we've had counselors who've stayed with families throughout the country and had places to stay when they visit the States and all of the rest. So it's really pretty immeasurable. But I also like to mention that, hey, Darren, when did you come over with CCUSA?
I joined CCUSA my first year, must have been 2001. So the dynamics of where I've ended up from my experience through CCUSA and Frenchwoods, it's led me to being a US citizen at the moment. It's changed my life, changed my career aspirations, changed my whole dynamic. And that was just, I'm going to go to camp, see what happens. It's limitless. Honestly, it's limitless. I've met my wife through camp. I'm sure Robson could say the same as well. So from a personal dynamic, it changes your life on so many occasions in so many ways that you can't even begin to think or even name just what this opportunity can do for you. It's incredible. It's going to blow your mind. It's something that you're going to remember for an absolute lifetime, and it will change your life.
Definitely. And give you friendships from around the globe. I think that's probably one of the most amazing things that I learned from camp myself, is that you do get to work with people from around the world. You know, CCUSA recruits out of 40 different countries around the globe. So you've almost got like a nice couch to crash on, or a place to crash whenever you travel the world. So it's kind of neat. I like that part about camp as well, is you get this amazing experience, but then you make these friendships that will last a lifetime. So it's not just a throwaway line, it's actually true. So it's great. In terms of then some of the other questions, I guess maybe while you're on the screen there, Darren, I know you mentioned the waterfront. Do you need a lifeguard swim teachers? Do you do your own lifeguard training? Do you do anything like that? Because we do get a lot of Aussies and Kiwis that do like to play around in the water. So
there's something about the Aussies and Kiwis. You guys are like born natural swimmers, which is fantastic. You're like, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe you guys just live around the outskirts of Australia, but you don't need a lifeguard certification to come to camp. We do the American Red Cross lifeguard training at camp. I do it personally with them. We'll train everybody. You'll get the qualifications. You actually walk away with a qualification from having come to camp. We cover it. It's fully paid for. Don't worry about it. It's covered. You come to camp, we'll teach you, and you walk away with a certification that's recognized in North America, which is great. We just need your energy, your enthusiasm. That's what we're looking for.
And you love the swimming, probably. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Perfect. All good. So Beth, can you maybe run us through what a typical day might look like for a counselor, and maybe touch on what the food's like? Because I know that you guys have a massive dining hall and such a big array of food. I've never known anyone to go hungry at Frenchwood. So maybe run us through that.
We start with food because, our cafeteria is cafeteria style. So we have a wide variety of options. So there's multiple options on our hot serving line. In the last couple of years, we've sort of shifted things so that we have 2 dining rooms that are in the same building, one for our upper older kids and one for our younger kids. And on each side, there is a vegetarian / vegan line. So there's always options for people with dietary restrictions and things like that. In addition to that, we have a fairly extensive salad bar with prepared salads and cold cuts and lots of different options, sort of deli meats and things like that. And in addition to fruit is available on the salad bar as well. And then in addition to that, we also do our alternate food area. And the alternate food area at breakfast is going to have usually pancakes, things like that. At lunch and dinner, we have hot dogs and hamburgers and veggie burgers, the other 2 meals of the day. So there's a ton of options. You will find something to eat at Frenchwood's any time of the day or night. So the schedule for the day, we wake up the kids at about 7:30 or so. Breakfast is at 8 o'clock. We don't do a morning reveille or anything like that. Our head counselors kind of come through and make sure that the kids are up and ready to go for the activities. The kids are signing up for, I mentioned those majors and minors. The majors are signed up for at the beginning of the session, but the minors are signed up for at the beginning of the day. So counselors will help the kids sign up for their activities for that day. There are 3 minors that could change each day. And then we all head to the dining hall for breakfast. After breakfast, we do a cleanup in the cabin. We do a job wheel with the kids. So, the counselors are responsible to lead by example, get the kids cleaning up by helping them and doing it themselves. And then after that, we start our first activity period of the day. So there are 3 activity periods in the morning and 3 activity periods after lunch. There's 15 minutes in between each activity period. You saw the facility itself. We're fairly large. So that gives kids and sometimes the staff time to get from one activity to the next. Counselors work 5 out of 6 periods per day. So you do have that period off each day, and each activity period lasts an hour. After our dinner is at 6 o'clock. And then after dinner, we do a little rest period in the cabin. It's a nice time for a little bunk bonding time, things like that. Sometimes the kids will shower during their rest hour. Some of the kids will also organize, some games out on the grass, things like that. And then we do our evening activity. And evening activity can be anything from, sort of group camp games, sports nights, things like that. But because we do so many different performing arts at camp, many times we will have evening activities of performing arts performances. Now, a lot of counselors will say, I'm a ropes instructor. I don't perform. I don't do any of that. So maybe I don't belong here. And that's really the thing that you need to know, is that at Frenchwood's, the only time that you are required to be exposed to the arts as a counselor is going to be during those evening activities. So you get to enjoy watching, but if you're not into that sort of thing, you'll work in your specialty area, and you may never otherwise set foot in a theater.
Definitely. So they'll sit down with the kids and get to watch these amazing performances and everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and I know that you guys, so you have not only counselors that come and do stage shows, you bring up special guests from New York. I think I saw this past summer you did something with the New York Pops.
The New York Pops. Yeah.
And so the kids and the staff that wanted to play musical instruments could jump in and play with the with the New York Pops, which is pretty amazing. Blew my mind watching that. That was amazing. Now, in terms of time off, so they get an hour off a day. What else? Evenings? Any like what's the day off schedule? And I think Darren might have touched on it. Like on days off, do you arrange for like vans and trips? What types of things could people do on their time off?
Darren, why don't you take this one?
Well, we do organize trips. Part of the whole J1 program and the CCUSO program, it's a cultural exchange. So we want you to experience America, not just work at camp and interact with kids. So we do organize some trips. I'm busy working on them at the moment. So currently I've got in the books Niagara Falls. We organize trips to Niagara Falls. We got Dorney Park, which is an American theme park. If you haven't been to a theme park, yeah, you got to see an American one. We got Philadelphia, we got Ithaca, we got New York City. We've even got an outlet shopping mall for you guys to go to as well. So that's something to go through as well. In the evenings as well, you will have an OD in the bunk where you're responsible for the kids. The rest of them, we're going to try and organize activities for you guys, whether it's the fitness center, whether it's movies in our Scott Theater, whether it's our evening swim down at the pool, creative cooking, cupcake wars. We're going to have activities for you guys to participate in as well. You might just want to have a nice relaxing staff lounge, grab something from the vending machines and kind of just chill out and watch some Netflix. You're welcome to do that as well. But there will be an endless list of things for you guys to do on your time off as well.
Awesome. Now, Beth, obviously, you've gone through 2 seasons of COVID and have your policies and procedures. I guess probably the lasting question I do get sometimes from folks is like, oh, what if I get to camp and I catch COVID? Camp's enclosed, do I have to leave camp? Where do I go? Are they going to kick me out? How does that work? So maybe give us a rundown.
So we have doctors and nurses at camp all summer long, usually 2 doctors and several nurses. So we have plenty of staff to take care of you if you get ill. And as far as COVID is concerned, we do have a facility to be able to isolate if necessary. So in the unlikely event that you were to get sick with COVID while you're at camp, we will look after you, and that'll be the end of that. We did ask for, the last couple of summers, we did ask for staff to have a little bit of additional testing upon arrival in the States. A little bit more than just to get into the States. We asked for a second test upon arrival. We'll see what we do next year, but that'll be the worst of it.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and at the moment, you still need to be double vaxxed to fly to the US anyway. So it's just part of the immigration procedure and process. So, and so that's fine. And I think, Australians and New Zealanders, we're kind of like, very, very much used to having to jump through hoops for the governments. So it's all good for that one. So I think we're fine.
Sure.
All good. Look, I think we've covered a lot of what I think would be really helpful for a lot of our participants. Before we open it up to any questions that we might have, I just want to run through. So if anyone's really keen on having an interview with Frenchwoods, we are having our first virtual job fair next Tuesday morning. So it will be done over this platform, over the Zoom platform. To sign up for that, you need to have completed your Camp Counselors USA online application form. You do not need to have a passport at the moment. So when you do that part of the application, just tick no. We'll get you to apply for one. In terms of the other items, you just need to upload a nice selfie photo. Read and sign the program agreement terms there. They might look a little scary because there's a bit there, but as your visa sponsor, so CCUSA is designated by the American government to be your visa sponsor. We've got a lot of requirements they give us. So we make sure that we're very open with that. So you have a read through those terms and conditions, sign off on that. And then you pay the $99 application fee. And that's all we need. You then let us know, hey, cool, I'd love to have an interview with Frenchwoods. We jump in, we'll lock you in for one of those time periods. Now, because of the time zone, we will be starting those around about 7 a.m. East Coast Australia time, or I should say New South Wales and Victoria time, through till about 10 o'clock. We go daylight savings this weekend, so it is going to be a little bit of a juggle for those coming from Queensland and Adelaide and WA and so forth, and and New Zealand, but we'll work it out. So we'll get you all a decent time there. But it's a really easy process to jump on and get that all sorted. Any last little pictures on what you're looking for, and maybe anything to alleviate those people that might get a little terrified by doing interviews over Zoom, Beth?
Look, the fact of the matter is we love our Australian staff. The attitude culturally, typically our Australian staff do really, really well at camp. So we're just excited to have you, and we're excited to talk to you, and we're used to chatting with nervous people. So, we're pretty easy.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and I think that's a great thing. You've hired so many Aussies and Kiwis for so many years, and they just had the most amazing time. And and they go to great places. Like Debbie's been there for now 18 months, or working on her 18-month visa. So had that amazing opportunity. What I might do is, why don't we open this up for questions? Please unmute yourself, jump on your camera if you can, and please feel free to ask any questions that you might have. Awesome. In regards to your equine program, what sort of jobs and roles do you offer counselors? So that's from Molly.
Absolutely. So Molly, we're looking for horse riding staff who would, most of our horse riding staff are also bunk counselors. So both working as a general counselor and as a specialist in the horse riding program. And our horse riding program, usually we've got about 12 to 14 counselors who work up in that area. And they're handling everything from caring for the horses to teaching classes. And what we try to do is we will cater the classes that you teach to the areas that you're going to specialize in. So for example, if you ride English, we're not going to ask you to teach Western classes. So, we really try to work on that. And then we may end up, if we need you to teach something you're a little less comfortable with, we might train you to do that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And with that in mind, you do from memory, like dressage and jumping as well. So you do the whole cross section, as well as the general trail rides and so forth. And it's for kids that just want to come and experience their first horse ride through.
The reality is, we've got some kids who are very accomplished riders, but then we also have kids who really just come up to be with the animals, and it tends to attract kids who might be a little homesick and what have you. We have kids who just want to care for the horses and never get on one. So, it's really the full range. And as I said earlier, it's just beautiful up there.
Yeah, definitely. So Mike just confirmed. So they don't necessarily need qualifications. So just a love of working with horses, being around horses, and then based on that level of experience. And then, and then she said, in terms of teaching, a lot of times you'll probably sit down with the head of horse riding and design lesson plans and programming and help teach them, like if they haven't taught before, sort of show them the ropes on how to teach.
Yeah. And those who are doing, horse care and stable maintenance and whatnot, you need to be comfortable around horses. You don't necessarily have to be the most expert rider out there. And we'll sort of gauge that and where you would fit in. And, because we're not looking for a single person up there, we're looking for, 12 to 14, that covers a lot of different levels of skill up there. So, if you're the right attitude and you're excited to do it, it may be the perfect fit.
Perfect. Hopefully that's also just answered Zoe's question about stable management and farm care experience with riding and so forth. Awesome. Any other questions? Wow, really? We must have been really good, Beth. We covered it all.
We try.
Exactly. Oh, okay. Elliot's asked, do you have any position for yoga instructors, and do they need to be a qualified yoga instructor or just someone who is very accomplished in doing yoga?
Absolutely. So we do teach yoga classes. Typically somebody teaching a yoga class would probably be doing that and something else. But we don't necessarily require a yoga teacher's certification. Okay. So if that's something that you're really accomplished at and feel like you'd be confident teaching, that's definitely something we could talk about.
Awesome. Great. Okay. What's your tech policy at camp? So someone's asked about phone and having tech while you're at camp. And I guess do you have Wi-Fi? How often can folks connect with home and that kind of stuff?
So what we ask for is we ask the counselors have their phones in the safe that is in the staff lounge. And anytime you're able to be in the staff lounge, you can connect to our Wi-Fi, no big deal. We just ask that you don't keep them in the cabin around the kids because the kids aren't allowed to have their cell phones. So as such, we just ask that any Wi-Fi enabled devices are going to be up in the staff lounge as opposed to around the campus. But you're welcome to have them. You're welcome to use them. We're not trying to keep you from contacting home.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and certainly, you know, if you've got a period off, one period off a day, you can always check in and so forth. Although I do strongly urge that, you know, sometimes it helps you get over a little homesickness every once in a while if you don't check in that often. So yeah, definitely. And look, don't be surprised. Let mums and dads know. I talk about this when I interview folks. It's not unheard of. I speak to a lot of folks that are coming back from camp this summer, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was really good. I would check in, you know, each week with mum and dad and do that." And then they said, but during the course of the summer, the priority to check in kind of dropped down, you know, because I want to go off and spend time with my friends, my new friends. We're going here, we're going Niagara Falls, we're going shopping, we're doing this and this and this. So you know, I tended to find that most folks, their parents just stalk them through their Instagram account on their time off, so it seemed pretty good.
I mean, I do make an announcement at the beginning of every summer that would all of our international counselors please contact home and tell their parents they're okay. Because inevitably I get a few emails from parents of counselors who are worried about their children.
Yeah, us too, absolutely. All good. Any other questions? Ooh, wow. I think we've done pretty well here. All right. Well, look, what I'm going to do is everyone stay put. I'm just going to stop the live stream. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us that have been watching us or that are going to watch this on the recording later. If you do have any questions, please reach out to the CCUSA Australia or New Zealand office. We'd love to have a chat to you. There are still interview appointment slots available for Frenchwoods. For those that also missed our other Zoom sessions we did one with Madap and I and Jewel last week. So you can always jump on our YouTube and check those out as well. But hopefully we can get many of you interviewing. I know our camps all across the US are super keen to get as many Aussies and Kiwis to camp this summer. So everyone stay put. Beth, thank you so much. It was lovely to chat to you. Thanks, Debbie, Darren, and Robson. So appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
All right.